You guys remember how in my last video I said Johnny just won't stop giving me new content to make fun of him for? Well, he still hasn't given up. We all know that one person, that one guy who somehow just keeps making things worse and worse despite us not believing it possible. And Johnny is that guy. At this point, I'm convinced he'll straight up diddle a kid if it means getting enough controversy points. That's not a possibility I like to throw on people, but things are getting really bad with the guy, even worse than they already were. And if you saw my last video, you know I've been quite displeased with Ramsey. But by the end of this video, you will understand why I say this. You see, Mr. Khalid Ismail has been extremely busy, at least on the evening of April 22nd. Anyways, see, he has recently gotten a YouTube channel off the ground. Your ears are not deceiving you. He's been using Hank as a way to do it, and even going as far as having Hank say publicly online, "Hey, this is my YouTube channel. Leave my boy Johnny alone." But for all intents and purposes, it is Johnny's channel. It's just not Johnny's channel on paper. That's what they're going for anyways. I'll be honest, I'm sure they would figure out eventually that this is Johnny Somali's channel and he wouldn't get monetized at that point. But with the use of AI, it is so easy to create a channel and monetize it without showing your face. We all know that the moment Johnny showed his face, he ruined any chance of this channel being lucrative for him. But I just don't understand why he didn't even try and do that. Of course, his ego and need for clout are self-destructive, as is the case with any arrogant individual, so that is worth taking into consideration. Johnny's personality won't allow him to make that choice, even though I think it's his wisest course of action. Again, they'd probably figure out it's Johnny Somali behind the strings, so it's not like it would definitely work out, but it might have worked out. Now let's tear into those clips, shall we?
Who's the news that was talking shit about it?
JTBC.
So you want to go? You down to go to the headquarters?
Yes, and
live,
and like demand an interview.
That's a good content live.
Actually demand an interview.
Me and Hank go to the Korean news channel that has been talking the most shit about us, and we show up to their headquarters live, and on YouTube, live on this channel and Hank's channel, and we tell these we want to interview now, and we're not leaving till you call the police. Now!
Now, what I find most interesting here is the fact that Hank is with Johnny. In Johnny's previous streams, he was always alone. You know, the ones where he was eating his own vomit and sniffing the lotion and cologne off of Hank's boxers while pretending it disgusts him. But this is different. Hank is here now, and I think I know why. See, this is a particularly tragic love story. Hank is South Korean, not American, and he'll never be an expat of the United States because of his criminal record here on the West. But Johnny is American. Once he serves his time, he's going to be deported back to my country, and I personally suspect that by that point, he'll be too broken by trauma to leave. But even if he wants to, they'll probably never see each other again. And do you know why? It's because they are banned from each other's country of birth. So I think Ramsey is starting to appreciate his man, because he knows he's about to lose him. Now, regarding the prospect of Johnny showing up to the news station, he ain't gonna do it. That'd be the stupidest stunt ever. They won't wait before calling the cops. And do you really think a media platform that broadcasts to an entire country isn't going to have security? Boy will be spread out on the pavement before he can so much as count to 5. But this clip is just a palate cleanser. The usual Somali tough talk coming from a puppy with rotten gums and broken teeth. That can't bite anyone. It's going to get so much worse though. Between the CSH charges he's already facing and what he did the other night, it's safe to say RKI is crossing new lines that he's going to regret. Why don't we shove our puños suaves in gently with one of the moments before Hank showed up? Now we all know Johnny gets the bitches, but bro is a chick magnet of unequal proportion and he needs us to understand that. So here he is, talking about how he gives whatever he's got to whoever's offering. And it should go without saying, but Ramsey is getting censored. I am so screwed up in the head that this kind of talk doesn't faze me. But YouTube is cruel, so we're gonna use Zarbon moans instead.
Korea does not let me out of Korea. I'm telling you right now, it is a danger to the Korean women. I have had so much Korean women while I've been locked here. I don't wear any condom when I these Korean women. I don't get any STD tests Korean women. I don't get any STD tests when I Korean women. And I make sure to spread whatever I have to all of these Korean women. And the police can't stop me. The government can't stop me. These Korean ladies is fiending for bragging. Every single week they keep me in Korea. I'm gonna keep Korean women. I'm a handsome, sexy, nice, I'm good looking.
In all seriousness, I'm conflicted. One of the most reprehensible things you could ever do to a person is intentionally give them an STD. I don't care how ashamed or embarrassed you are. You're irreversibly poisoning the immune system of your lover, and you're a piece of shit if you do that. But let's be real. No guy who talks this way is scoring with the ladies. This isn't bad boy behavior, it's just insecurity, and I can't help but laugh to myself. Like seriously, what girl would ever want to be the fridge that holds Johnny Somali's milk? If I was a woman, I'd rather have a three-way with Chris Chan and EDP than even dream about taking Ramsey for a ride. It's difficult to say what's real and fake with this little twerp because half the garbage he spews is a lie. And this definitely is too. But relax guys, if you're worried, then don't be. Ramsey Khalid Ismail is not getting his sword polished more than you. Get a load of this.
Okay, do you guys want to know what happened when I went to the red light district with Hank? I'll tell you all the story. The other day we went to the red light district, and the reason I didn't stream it is because every single hooker we met in the red light district was like, no black, no black, no black. I was getting mad, chat. These Korean ladies is fiending for black. No black, no black, no black.
We'll tie this point into the next one briefly, but I have better things to do than talk about Johnny's non-existent sex life. Now he's really done gone and screwed up with this one. You see, he's threatened not only to hurt South Korean women, but the GOAT as well. Legal mindset. Which, shame on you, RKI. He's too based for the likes of you. Seriously, go check him out. Like, the one thing I'm grateful to Johnny for is bringing me to legal mindset. Call me a glazer, but this guy is awesome. I've seen nothing that I'm not impressed with.
Let's listen to this one. I posted this one on my X so people can look at this one here. This is a very specific threat against me, of all people here. So let's listen up to this one.
Legal mindset. I don't need to fight. I'll walk past inject some HIV blood with a fucking needle, nigga. Legal mindset.
See, that's a very specific threat.
Had some more N-words to censor because of YouTube, but between Johnny Somali and Jack Doherty, I actually have a lot more fun censoring people and think it's even funnier than letting them curse. I was so gracious as to let him have one F-bomb though, since, I mean, that's okay. It's just once you cuss a million times a minute that you're in trouble. But yeah, he's threatening to stick some nasty stuff in legal mindset, which, as he himself pointed out, that's a pinprick attack. And the thing is, if Johnny does this to legal mindset or any Korean women or any one of his enemies and they die, he goes to jail for murder. So yeah, he wouldn't have any fun with that. And then we also got some posts. This guy here is offering some good advice. There is a way to help you smooth things over with the Korean people. Stop posting everything that is perceived as hurtful. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything. Laugh if you want, but flying on the radar in enemy territory attracts attention. To which Johnny said, "Who said I want to smooth things over? They are cockroaches." If you as a nation have a Johnny Somali calling you a cockroach, then I don't really think you're doing anything wrong. And then here he's given us his spicy and nuanced take on the Carmelo Anthony situation. Just saying, hang that monkey. Of course, I already offered my own perspective in a previous video. I think racism is bad in general, regardless of whether or not it's against black people, white people, just anyone. But yeah. Now, you are the problem, my friend. Father of Austin Metcalf confronts Jake Lang over a phone as Jake holds Protect White Americans for Justice for Austin Metcalf in Frisco, Texas. When a racially charged controversy is ignited, there's always this counterculture. And here we have it in Protect White Americans. Since it apparently matters in the eyes of the segregationists, I, as a white man, don't think Jake Lang is any better than Dominique Alexander. He called a grieving father weak for not wanting to go along with his hateful narrative. My man's had an agenda. And then because Johnny hates everyone, he even talks shit about the people he supposedly loves, i.e. China. Disgusting scenes from Seoul last night as Unigen supporters marched through a Chinese neighborhood, hurling racist abuse and terrorizing restaurant workers. They shouted slurs like and go back to China at staff who were simply working, to which Johnny says they are all, and then just, well, that's basically the Chinese N-word. So, yeah. So I saved the worst for last. You think threatening to infect others is where this was gonna end? No. See, this moron picks the worst things to double down on and then triples down on them. And I just don't get it. We know he was sweating the CSH charges. So why would he even risk this? So here it is. Johnny and Hank, who by this point has joined them, are now talking to underage girls. Yeah. Really not making things look good for himself now, is he? Now, generally speaking, you have to be careful how you treat children you don't know, because one poor interpretation of your intentions can go a long way. But when you couple that with the CSH charges, then I don't understand why you'd seek out this kind of attention. A part of me is starting to think Johnny is unironically attracted to kids after seeing this cringe, and that this is just his weird way of expressing his taboo desires. But that's neither here nor there.
I'm scared.
Yo. Wait, that's a kid.
Hello. Where are you from? Philippines.
Well, that's a kid.
And you can see even Hank, who's not particularly bright in his own right, immediately noticed, hey, that's a kid. But Johnny doesn't care. He's playing with fire. He even had like explicit content he was preparing to show people, I guess, on YouTube. I'm not sure if it's these girls or the people watching a stream or what, but he had like 3 streams and he kept having to turn them off because he is that averse to following rules.
My nigga Tally. Free. Hey, free my Vitaly.
And this was another thing. He kept saying free Vitaly. I think we all know by now, but in case you don't, he was that one Russian-American nuisance streamer that was in the Philippines. He got taken down pretty quickly though. But Vitaly's existence is pretty much a foreshadowing to his future, and he knows it. So standing up for Vitaly is standing up for himself.
中国万岁！操日本，操韩国，操美国！我们的队伍，我们的队伍像太阳，脚踏着祖国的大地。
Sorry. What you apologizing for? It's your new wife. Hey, he's trying to move to China. You can go to China with him.
And this poor girl, she's Chinese, and because of her nationality, she's been subjected to Hank's horrible, cannot be understood, ghetto Chinese. But you can see here, Johnny, he thinks he's joking, but he's legit propositioning a minor for marriage. Yeah, that's probably going to be one hell of a charge. It's actually crazy to me just how bold he's become.
Where are you from? I'm from America. He's from America.
Yeah, I'm from Texas.
This is probably a little naughty of me, maybe a bit inappropriate, but regarding Hank being American, I can't help but feel a little bit of pride in knowing that's not true, in having been born with something that he'll never get to have, because he squandered his chance to obtain permanent residence in this country, or even just long-lasting residence in America. I live and enjoy a pleasure every day that Hank can only ever dream of. So that's where we're at right now with the Johnny Somali stuff. He's collecting charges like Pokemon, and now he's gone for the legendaries, the really high statters. Packed his Ultra Balls and everything.